I got a promotion. Let us bow our heads, please. Father God, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you. Only you truly know what is setting out to what we're trying to accomplish here today. We have an idea, a vision, we have hints, we have daily instructions. We have talents, we have abilities, and we have time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every reason, every season, every night. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all of our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen your confidence in who you have made us to be. Let us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all that are present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. We're going to start out this morning with our Brighter Vision Kickoff, and I want to turn this over to David Kennedy for opening remarks.
Welcome everybody to our Brighter Vision Kickoff. Last year we done 121,000 so many odd dollars, and I think we can do it again this year and even better this year. I pledged last year to do $1 a week, so I done it at the end of the year and sent it on in and a memorial. Anybody want to make a memorial to somebody or whatever, honorary? We could do that, and I always come up with an idea that maybe do each member if they want to, they don't have to, put $1 meeting in there and throw it in a little jar down there, and then at the end of the year, then the secretary of that club, the treasurer, could send it on into Brighter Vision. That's up to the individual that wants to do that, and I thank each and every one that has put into Brighter Vision, because I see what it done for clinical eye research at Winston-Salem at their Baptist Hospital. When my wife had to have a cornea transplant, she had done it Davie Medical, and the doctor actually thanked me for being a lion, and he also told me he'd done work with the lions down there in Guatemala through just funds and stuff that Lions has done, you know, for it, and he appreciates what they do and supporting all this stuff. And that's one thing I got to say about Brighter Vision. If anybody wants to do that, it's up to the individual. If they want to give some, I'm going to put a $5 bill in there today for my part for just one meeting right here, and then I'll pledge my $1 each week again this next year, maybe more. And that's about all I got to say. Need anything else to say? I get to be the introduction. I don't even want to do that, but so that's what I got for our Brighter Vision. That's up to the individual.
So I need to introduce our past international president, Sid Scruggs, and I think you're the only one here today. Harvey is having a family day with kids from out of town, so I told him he was given the day off. And I want to welcome everybody that's here again, and I'm going to turn it now over to Carl Hall to give the introduction.
Thank you, God. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Big problem.
Put your cap on there, that's fine.
One of the things they told me in order to be involved in Brighter Vision is that you have to have a bald head. Gene Hassel, and I took over for Gene Hassel, and I said, well, okay, I'll try to do the best job possible. That's, just a joke. But on a serious note, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for being here, thank everyone for participating in Brighter Visions last year. Yes, we met the goal about on the 11th hour by the skin of our teeth, and it was a kind of tough challenge, but you got to do what you got to do. And later on, in closing remarks, I'll mention some comments on some of the things that we can do. So with that being said, at this time, I would like to introduce our Executive Director, Carl Metz. He's going to give a recap of the 2023-2024 Brighter Vision on what happened and how we got to where we are. At this time, without further ado, Lion Carl.
Thank you. And thank you for what you did. I don't see the immediate past district governor, but she did something good. She met me halfway and gave me the money to get you over your goals. So at least we got that out of her before she didn't come. So to begin with, we'll start off with our slides over here. Tammy's going to operate those for us. Give you a little recap of what you did last year. And actually, there you go ahead and flip it. Keep flipping. I got it designed for me to flip it. But your Brighter Visions last year, you were down $7,933 from the year before, but you did make it go. Next. Okay, there you go. On the memorials and honorariums, you were up $3,875. The raffle, you were up $5,687. Clinical eye research, you were down $635. Total contributions, you were up $753. So total contributions up was a 0.4%. So that you met the goals. You were a little bit above. And some of the big ones you did super on, so we appreciate that. And that was the Brighter Vision and the raffle. So you did great on all of them. Next. If you can dream it, you can do it. We already went past that one, I see. So that's all right. Yeah. That's exactly Reed Litz, that's what he said. If you can dream it, you can do it. Go to the next one. I'll give you some on your Brighter Vision leaders, on the total dollars. Go ahead and click it one more time. One more, there you go. The leader is Sanford Lions Club with $15,000. Durham Lions Club with $6,000. Greensboro Host with $5,500. And Unionville had 53. And High Point was at 5,032. I got a short list of those down to $3,000. So overall, you did very well. And I know some of you got certificates for job well done. Actually, the foundation does that too. And so you may get a double dose of certificates, but that's good too. I want to give to the Brighter Vision leaders, which would be the top $5. And the first one, it may not be in order, but I got Jamestown Lions Club. Is anybody here from Jamestown? Okay. There. And the Siler City Lions Club. I think these are set up on the per member goal. and Greensboro, Hamilton Lakes. Bath Lions Club. And the Sanford Lions Club. Is Sanford here? There you go. I happened to be looking at the Sanford banner at our last meeting, and I saw on that banner Everon Upchurch. And I've been looking all of our past presidents of the Lions Foundation, and asked Nelson Smith, was he still living? He said, I don't know. Asked this elderly gentleman over here, he could tell you. So I asked him, and Everon said, yeah, I know him very well. Said, that would be me. So he is still living, and he's a very spry young man at 95 years old. Move on to the next group. The Brighter Visions for the total members for the multiple district, looking at the leaders, District O was number 2 in the state. So I think that would speak very highly of you. Again, 2 years in a row. You were just behind District I. And District N did a surprising 100,000 for the first time ever, and I think that was very good. So we're looking at maybe bringing back one of our old plaques, the John L. Stickley Award. We may bring that back out of mothballs to help this awards on the Brighter Visions. Again, the total leaders for the Brighter Vision was Sanford, Durham, Greensboro, Unionville, and High Point. Now go to the next one. The next one is the statewide leaders. And I know that's very hard to see. Is that?
One more.
Yeah, one more.
Right there?
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
Don't look the same as mine. That's the one. This one here is showing you that you have one of your great clubs in the top 5. The number 1 leader in the district or the state was Linwood Lions Club. Second place was Raleigh Host. Third is Sanford. Western Harney was 4th, and Etowah was 5th. So we still got some Lions that's doing a lot of good work out there. Next. I have to see which one is it. Yeah. I shouldn't have stapled this. The Brighter Vision leaders. Okay. Again, this is a little bit of carryover, but as you see in the Brighter Vision, this is the per member. Carrboro Lions Club with 3 members did $5,000, and they were $1,670 per member. You can't beat that. And it's followed by Linwood, Davidson, Townsend, and I, and Etowah, and Odell, and I. So we got L, right. All of these were the statewide leaders. The next. Okay, this is the raffle sales per member, and I got more certificates for those, and I know you probably got some for the district. And these followed by groups. The sizes of the groups are maybe a little different from yours. The first, number one, was up to 10 members. The next group was up to 15 members. And then the next was up to 25, the next was up to 40, and the next is up to whatever. And so group one goes to Jamestown. And Jamestown was also your leader in both categories, money and the per member. And I think they must have got that from our deceased past district governor. Do I? Okay. You switch. There you go. Anyway, the second group two, is to the Norwood Lions Club. Is anybody here from Norwood? I can make it to. The third group is Goldston Lions. Anybody here? Okay. Who will come forward? Fourth group is Siler City. Yeah. And the fifth group is Sanford. Good job. And I'll tell you, the Camp Dogwood raffle was one of those things that kept at me all year. And we got within the last 2 days, and we were barely under what we were last year, and I didn't think we were going to make it. And then all of a sudden, I go to the mailbox, and it was filled to the brim. They couldn't get them all in there. So everybody sent them in the very last day, and to come up with 125,000. I thought that was terrific. Tammy, you can go ahead and flip to the next one. This again is kind of a repeat of the state, and one of the smallest and biggest clubs in the state, Sherrill Ford Lions Club, and I know it's hard for you to read up there, was the number one they were number one per member sales and number one for the total dollars. They had $4,700 worth of tickets, $29 per member. And followed by Wilmington at 2,500, and Jamestown again at 1,435. They were in third place in the state. And Lewisburg was 1,440, and Rocky Hawk, which is another club that's really jumped out there. They do a great job of Camp Dogwood raffle tickets. And to give you a little update on the raffle, go to the next one, Tammy, and to the next one. This is the new ideas of how to handle the raffle. Do we want that little 1-foot barrel? Do we need to get another 4-foot barrel? Plus the QR code is going to equal a lot more money. All of it's going to go to the maintenance of the Camp Dogwood raffle. And I'll tell you, I gave you a sheet like this, give you a little explanation of the raffle or the QR code on the back. And I tell you, it's easy. I've already put my first $20 in there. And if you look at the back of this, you can see that you get the QR code. You go straight to the website, which is the second. And then you get to select whether you want the 1 ticket for $5, or the 3 tickets for $10, or the 7 for $20. You make that selection. It takes you over to the next screen, and you get to put your email address, your name, your address, your zip code, and all that. It takes you to the next screen, which will ask for your club, who it's sold by, and the amount of money that will be taken out by credit card. And then they take you to the next one, and this is where it gets a little tricky. It says ZETI covers the payment fees for the North Carolina Lions Incorporated Serving Foundation. It says joined over 1 million supporters to to keep Zephy free for the nonprofits. So when you click that first screen, it will give you an option to make a 17% increase or tack on to your sales, or you can do another one which is 20%, or you flip to the next one is other, is 0. So keep flipping and go to the other, and then that would cost you absolutely nothing to make that donation. And we have got a lot of folks that are beginning to use it, and it's so easy that they will they'll go to email to Brittany, and then Brittany will download it into a spreadsheet, and then she would print them. And if you notice, all your tickets are in Avery type ticket sheets. So she can print them in as a sheet and take them out and put them in the barrel and email you back and say, thank you, I got your $20 and your 7 tickets have been placed in the barrel. And whatever the amount that you put on it, so they notify you that we got it. And that is so easy that we found out also in the process, Paul Bledsoe found this company that actually, they charge us nothing, but like I said, the little trick is that they ask you, do you want to help out the nonprofits by making that donation? So you can elect to do that, and that helps all nonprofits, or go down to the word other and 0. But we found that we can also use this as our donation on the foundation website. That you can do Brighter Vision, you can do Brighter Vision, you can do memorials and honorariums, put all that information on there and do the same thing, click other, and it costs you $0 to make that process. And so that would be easy. And I had one guy told me that his club was going to buy $2,500 worth of tickets, but they didn't want to stamp all of them. I said, you send me the check, and I will do it for you with QR code, print it off for you, and send everything back to you. But
Will it work on Androids too?
Yes, it may work a little bit different if you take a picture of it and keep the QR code. I know on an iPhone that you can take your thumb and put it on the QR code. Did I say IR code? QR code. And when it does, it pops up on the bottom and says that it'll open up in your browser, and click that, and then you're on the website and you're home free.
If you do a Google search, you can do an image search, and it will take a picture of the QR code, it'll do the same thing.
And
On
If I
Android.
can share something, Carlton, too, if they can take a picture of that QR code and leave it hanging in their pictures, and when they go to these family reunions, they can just show that picture, and they can take their phone and scan it from that picture, and your phone, you don't have to carry anything around with you.
Right.
But your phone that you've already got the picture in it.
But again, I'd like to thank you for all you did. District O, I can always count on them to be consistent. So keep up the good work. And now I'll move it over to, I believe it's Lorraine.
I have a request. Anybody know the Wi-Fi password for this the church?
We're trying to get it, I'm calling, but I've got to call one more person, I'm working on it.
That's the only reason Zoom's not live right now. My hotspot's at a dead zone. I can't get a signal out of it.
Okay, we'll deal with the codes and hopefully we'll get those passwords available soon.
It is being recorded. I'll put it for replay later.
Thank you. Thank you from District O for everything that you and your clubs did during the 23-24 Lions year. Just a brief recap from what Carlton has shared with us. Statewide, we had raffle ticket sales of $128,773.31. District O's portion was $31,061. You did great. Thank you so much. One of the other things that I am particularly proud of for our district is that 85% of our clubs participated in the Camp Dogwood raffle. 44 clubs of our 52 participated. The downside is there are 8 clubs that had 0 ticket sales. And of those 8, 3 of those didn't have any last year either, the previous year either. Our goal this year is going to be to make that percentage even better. I'm going to take one moment. I am the co-chair statewide for Camp Dogwood. I want to introduce to you my conspirator in crime here, Lion Gene Getz, if you will stand. Lion Gene traveled here from Goldsboro this morning to be here with us. He will have the districts N and S, and I will be working with districts L, I, and O. I discussed this with him for just a minute this morning, and I'm a very competitive person. I like to win. And what I have proposed to Lion Gene, and he agreed to, and I have to put a little caveat here. Normally, Lion Gene has a full head of white hair and a full white beard. He makes an excellent Santa Claus if you need one. Okay. So he says he will regrow that beard. What I am proposing is if districts L, I, and O will have a higher average ticket per member sale. If L, I, and O have the higher percentage, Lion Gene's going to shave that beard off again. You have to understand, he had that beard for a long time. In the unlikely event that N and S should win this competition, I'm going to shave my head. And Dale has approved. Y'all, I'm depending on you. A bald head reminds me of my time in 2013, which was not an excellent time. So I'm depending on you to get these ticket sales up there. Lion G?
Yeah, I would just like to thank you all for the ticket sales that you had this year. It's fantastic. You are up 22.4% from last year. It's fantastic. Do I need this?
All right. Yes, I do.
The other person I'd like to thank is Carlton and Tammy for putting so much work into this QR code. This is fantastic. If we can go out and the first time I went and did my Brighter Visions thing.
I gotta learn that. Okay, thanks, Ted. I came back to my club. I was a young member, and I said, okay, what do I do with these tickets now? And my club members said, oh, we don't sell them. We usually just buy them ourselves. Well, that's really not the right idea. And thank you for buying the tickets. Don't get me wrong, that's fantastic. But we'd like to see you get out there and sell them at your events, sell them everywhere. And this QR code makes it so fantastically easy. You can have that on your phone, and they can go in and do it, and you'll get used to it, believe me. I've tried it myself, it's very easy. So I just want to thank you all.
Gene was also the Camp Dogwood chair last year, and he covered the whole state. Okay. He thanked you for what you did monetarily. I want to thank you for what you did with your time. For Volunteer Cleanup Week, District 310 had 11 clubs represented. We had 55 Lions or guests from District 310 who put in 595.37 hours. And if we multiply that times $7.50, which is the North Carolina and the federal government minimum wage, the those Lions who participated in Cleanup Week saved Camp Dogwood over $4,465 in labor costs. Thank you for a job well done. We also had numerous volunteers that helped out at summer camp. 13 Lions were there over for some point over a 5-week period. That's a big commitment of time. And again, we thank you for your being able to do it and doing it. We had last year from our district 64 campers who spent a week at Camp Dogwood. And I want you to hear from one of those campers.
You're going to start getting too far away from the little box.
Okay. Ryan Mark, can you step over this way with me just a moment? The microphone. Make you have to walk. We're getting too far away from the mic. Stay right behind you in very tight quarters. We're going to try this again. Again, Lion Mark spent a week at Camp Dogwood this week. Lion Mark, tell us something that you just really enjoyed about camp.
Well, there's everything to enjoy at camp. The people there, the volunteers, the maintenance people, everybody, all the counselors, the staff, I mean, everybody is just great. There's no other place that I know of that a VIP can go to that gets the treatment that Camp Dogwood gives. Camp Dogwood is a remarkable, outstanding place as far as the VIPs are concerned. There's no other place, I believe, in the world that treats the campers and the volunteers and everybody is just great. There's things we get to do we don't ordinarily get to do at home. And
what's your favorite thing to do there?
I like boating and kayaking, swimming, and I like the archery and BB guns too.
So do you plan to go back next year?
You betcha. As long as they'll have me, I'll be there.
One of our former camp directors used to refer to Camp Dogwood experience as a cruise on land. You think that might be a good thing?
I agree.
Okay.
Did he not get a recognition at camp?
Yes, I did. I got King of Camp Dogwood for that week.
Well deserved. Okay. Bear with us for just a moment. Now Tammy would fuss at me because of the way I'm leading him.
No, I wouldn't. You're going between tight quarters, so you're okay. If you were in the open, I would fuss.
And that's only because, folks, I see people jerk their arms off coming down through here.
One of the things you learn as a volunteer is how to guide a camper. And Tammy does that every week just to make sure nobody forgets. I want to say thank you to Lion Tammy. Tammy has been at Camp Dogwood as administrator, as camp director for 5 years?
6 years.
6 years. And in that 6 years, she's taken Camp Dogwood from a place of old folks home to a retreat kind of center where she's got and introduced a lot more activity for the younger VIPs. You heard Mark talk about kayaking, archery, BB guns. We still have the putt-putt. We still have the arts and crafts. We still play bingo, which is always, always, always one of the favorite things they get to do. And one of the things she does with bingos, and I'm going to go ahead and put this little plug out there, is instead of giving out little prizes that a lot of times they don't really want, the bingo prizes are called Camp Dogwood bucks that the campers have to spend at Camp Dogwood, either in the souvenir store or at the snack bar. But you should see bingo's usually on Monday night.
Yes, ma'am.
And you should see them going through the souvenir store on Monday morning and Monday afternoon, making plans for how they're going to spend their winnings. So thank you for enabling many of your clubs help subsidize the cost of those campers to go for that week. We've already talked about buying the Camp Dogwood tickets and selling the Camp raffle tickets. Just a reminder, the new format, $5 per ticket, 3 for 10, or 7 for 20. One of the things that Carlton did not mention that he mentioned last week that I heard was, if you use the QR code to sell the tickets or buy the tickets, do not send in a paper ticket. When you use the QR code, they are printing the tickets there at Camp Dogwood. So if you send in a paper ticket, then you got to send in some more money with it. And we'll be glad for you to do that too. Okay. Yes, Fred.
I just got a question. Can you do more than 7 tickets at a
Yes,
time
sir.
with a QR code?
It's just like the group want to do 2,500. I'll divide 20 into 2,500, multiply that by 7. That's how many tickets they get.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can get as many as you want. You buy them in groups. You'll say 1, you'll get 7. 2, you get 14. So yeah, you can get what you want. And if you don't feel like you're getting what you want, I'm a phone call away, I'll help you.
Okay, and one of the other important things that I wanted to remind you of is using that QR code. There was a screen that gave the club credit. So when you're selling to your friends and relatives, make sure you ask them to make sure they put Winged Lions Club on there. We appreciate it. Okay. Last year, we were asked to sell 5 books per ticket, which equaled $50. This year with the new code, we are asked to sell $50 worth of tickets. We're not really asking you to do that much more. But what I'm asking you to do as a devotee of Camp Dogwood, sell one more than you did last year. If you can increase your club's donation or sales by 10%, fantastic. But do at least one more than you did last year. That will help us out tremendously. There are 1,065 Lions in District 31A. That's $5,000 more going to Camp Dogwood if everybody will participate. So sell the tickets, that supports us. The other ways you can support Camp Dogwood are by volunteering. Volunteer Cleanup Week, and mark your calendars on this, is April the 3rd through the 9th. There's always pressure washing, there's always painting, there's always landscaping. There is a job for everybody. There is always eyeglass sorting. If you are not mobile, eyeglass sorting works well, okay? But please come. If you can come for the whole week, that's fantastic. If you can only come for a few hours one day. As Dale told me one time when we were building a ramp, and I would hammer in 1 nail to his 20, he said, that's okay. That's one I don't have to hammer. So remember, every little bit helps. Okay? Tentative dates for summer camp are going to be May 25th, which is Memorial Day weekend of 2025, through August the 4th. Here again, we need volunteers. It is just a wonderful experience to go walk with the campers on a daily basis, to be with them when they have meals, to go with them to devotions, to work with them on the waterfront, helping them fish. I got to spend a couple of days down there and had a lady down there that had never fished before in her life. And we took her down there to the dock. Well, she got herself down there because they are very independent. But when she got to the dock, we helped her get her line ready. She threw that thing in the lake, and almost instantaneously she brought a fish back up. It was about the size of your hand. It wasn't a huge one, but she was tickled to death, and she was stuck there for the next 3 hours. She didn't want to leave. You get to you can do anything that you feel comfortable doing. Lion Tammy has a long list of volunteer activities. Preferably come and spend the week. There is no charge for your room or for your meals. You're giving your time, and it's important, and it's needed. She had several volunteers this year that did multiple weeks. Her goal is to have a new set of volunteers every week. And the only way she can do that is through participation. The next thing you can do is promote Camp Dogwood. When you are out and about and you see someone who's visually impaired, take a moment to say, hey, we see you're visually impaired. Do you know about Camp Dogwood, a retreat center? Give them some information about what our camp is. Every lion in this room owns a portion of that camp. Many of us have ownership certificates that were given out year before last. Are we still doing that, or for new members, do we need to catch up? The certificates of ownership for Camp Dogwood? Okay. We are all members. We own that land, and it's 60 acres up on Lake Norman. It ain't cheap, but it's great, and it's wonderful. So promote it to summer campers. Let them know what we've got to offer. Also remember that in the off-season we use the facilities. We list them under Dogwood on Lake Norman. You can use it for a family reunion, a celebration, a wedding. Lion Tammy got married there on July the 4th. So she'll be 1 month tomorrow. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
There are a lot of activities that can be held at that camp, and it is available. Every dollar that we raise during the off-season usage of the camp goes back to help support the programs and the services that we use for our summer campers. The last thing I want to say is, remember, we want you to all sell $50 worth of tickets. How many of you are members of a homeowners association? I will bet that your homeowner fees are much more than $50 a year. Our Camp Dogwood sales are our homeowners association fees. Please, please, please. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for all the time that you have given to it, and just that much more. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? And I apologize, I tend to chase squirrels when I'm passionate about something. Lion Kathy.
What was the last date of the camping?
It ends on tentatively August the 4th or around that date. We try to do 6 to 8 weeks of campers each summer. The summer session runs from Sunday afternoon until Thursday morning. And you would be amazed at what we can get, what they can get to do in that period of time. Any other questions on bills?
Dates for the volunteer week.
April the 3rd through the 9th. And again, if you can't come for the whole time, come when you can. Every eyeglass that you sort's one somebody else doesn't have to do. Next on the agenda is our state Brighter Visions Chair, past District Governor Bill Mathers from Mint Hill.
Okay, is everybody awake? I saw a few people nodding off from the minute I got here. It happened. Anyways, I've been asked to come out and talk to you guys about Brighter Visions today as the state chair. And I want you to understand something. This is why we're here today. About 4 months ago, the president of the North Carolina Lions Foundation, Wayne Faber, called me up and he said, would you be the state Brighter Visions chair? And my first question is, why do you want me to do that? And he said, because nobody else will. Now, in all honesty, I told him I'd think about it like I do every time somebody asks me to do something. And it's one thing to be the Brighter Visions chair in my district, which I was 5 years ago, but to be responsible for the whole state, that's a little different. But I want to talk about when I was first asked to be the Brighter Vision district chair in my district, District I. Jimmy Myers was the district governor at the time, and he called me up and said, would you be willing to do it? Well, I was very skeptical when I said I would consider doing it. And I told him I'd have to think about it. And the reason I did is I was in a club in Mint Hill where we have some of the most negative people in the world. Now, don't tell me you've got negative people in your clubs. We all know every club's got it. However, the first thing they said to me when I said I was asked to do this, 4 members in my club who've never been involved in anything at the district level tell me, well, do you know all that money they get for Camp Dogwood doesn't even, or for Brighter Visions, they don't even spend it properly, okay? That is a very common thread. The more I talk to people that are further up the districts, that was a very common thread among a lot of district people, that this was a prevailing thought. And so the first thing I thought I'd better do is find out and look at the budgets and find out where the money is being spent, because I don't want to get up and promise people something that wasn't true. So I called Carlton and I said, I want to come up and have you go over the finances with me so I know what's going on. Now, a lot of you know me, but some of you that don't know that I own my own business, have for 41 years. I've been president of the Board of Realtors in Charlotte. I was on the board of directors of the Girl Scouts in the Charlotte area. But the bottom line was I've been involved in budgets for a lot of major companies, or nonprofits and companies. So when I went over the budget, in all honesty, every penny was being spent the way it should have been. And it was bad information that the members in my club got. So the first thing I did was take the budget back to my club, and I said to them, here is the financials. What would you like to hear about? And all 4 of these people that were bitching didn't even pick up the financials. They said, well, if you say it's okay, we're okay with it. The reason being is they had no idea what they were reading anyway. So, when I called Jimmy Myers back and said, okay, I'll do it, I said, who's the chair this year? And he said it was Michelle Gregory, who is now Michelle Gregory Myers. Okay.
Right.
And I said, well, I want to follow her or go to a couple of clubs with her and see how she does it. And the first club I went to with her was the Mount Pleasant Lions Club, which is a great club in our district. They do a whole lot of stuff with not that many people. Anyways, we get up there and she's got a presentation that's phenomenal. She's giving them all a quiz. And I said, why are you doing that? And she said, you have no idea how many Lions have no idea what happens to the money with Brighter Visions. So, I watched her do this and I thought, she's going to be a good mentor for me because I had no idea what I was going to do. And I went out, the first thing she told me is, if you want to raise the most money possible, you need to go to every club during the year. And I'm going, 48 clubs in 12 months? And so I said, well, okay, that's fine, because I like to, my wife will tell you I like to drive. I'd have been a truck driver in another life. So, the first couple of clubs I go to, I'm hearing we're not spending the money the right way. But what was worse is when I said, you know where the money goes to, they had no idea. And I'm going to tell you this, I can promise you after we get done today, that you will learn some things about what happens to the money with Brighter Visions. Because one of the things I've learned, I don't care how long people have been Lions, they got no idea what we're raising the money for. In some cases. Now in some clubs, there's always a couple of people that are pretty knowledgeable, but we're not getting it to most of the members. So I went back and put together a PowerPoint because show and tell's better than all the talking you can do. And I started taking that to every club, and it was very similar to what Michelle did. I'd like to take credit for it, but I just asked questions, and we kind of made it fun going through. Well, when Wayne asked me to be state chair, the first thing I did, and after I agreed to it, I called Carlton and I said, I'm going to send you my PowerPoint, and please add and change anything that needs to be changed, which he did. So what you're seeing today is not something I've done. It's a combination of work from a lot of other people. Okay? First of all, let's start with Brighter Visions, and let's go to the first slide. First of all, we're going to give you a quiz today. Let's see what you really know. This is the easiest question on the test. Brighter Visions is A, a Lions International program, B, a Lions American Canadian program, C, a North Carolina Lions program, and D, a district program. Anybody know the answer? C. How many of you think it's C? All right, then stay in the Lions. Let's go ahead and go to the next question. Or the answer, go back to the answer. As you can see, it's a North Carolina Lions program. Now, on the next page, you've already seen this today. Tammy, if you'll go ahead and change it. This was what happened this past year. And thankfully, Carlton was able to figure out a way to put this in my PowerPoint. Because incidentally, my wife has to do my PowerPoints for me. So, anyways, and I want to talk about this for a minute. You guys raised basically $121,328, and you went over your goal of $120,000. And I come from District I, and we have a district that tends to be the largest fundraiser for Brighter Visions every year. And we raised this year $150,000. Steve Klein was very upset because he was $4,000 below my record year we had at $154,000 5 years ago. But I want to tell you something that's even been more fun. You guys have been my nemesis since I've been active at the state and district levels. Your district president, or your district governor, 2 years ago, Gary Green and I had a running tally, and you guys were ahead for probably 3/4 of the year. And I would get texts every week from this guy telling me how great you were. And I would send him back a whole bunch of crap from my standpoint. And this went on the whole year. Gary and I are very good friends, however. But we had a really interesting time, and only in the last month or so was my district able to beat your district. You guys have always been great. I look at your district as good as mine. But here's the interesting part. We do it with over 100 members less. So I'm going to challenge all of you this year in this district to beat District I. And I will tell you, I'm at a disadvantage this year as state chair because I got to root for everybody, number one. And number two, Steve Klein, who's been very successful, is now a district governor in waiting, and he's not going to be our state or our district chair this year. So I've got a whole new district chair to break in District I. You guys are on your second year with these two guys. But the bottom line is, I hope you beat us, but it's going to be tough. Okay? If we can go on, Tammy. Besides Brighter Visions, name the other two North Carolina Lions fundraising programs, the big ones. Anybody? Hold on, one at a time, raise your hand. Anybody? Go ahead, yes.
VIP fishing tournament.
VIP fishing tournament's one of them. You can't vote for it, right? The Camp Dogwood ticket? Okay, if you want to go ahead. These are the two other ones. I'm here to promote Brighter Visions. I think it's great you're going to do the others. I've done both. But today we're talking, or right now I'm talking about the Brighter Visions. If you would, to the next question. I am the state chair. My name is Bill Mathers. I'm in the Mid-Hill Lions Club, have been since 2014. But I've got what I consider the best set of district chairs this year to do the Brighter Visions campaign. And as you can see, I've got a list of all of them. In your district, it's David Kennedy and Carl Hall. And they're the veterans of the group I've got. Okay, moving on. Another question. What was the original name of the Brighter Visions program? No. It was not. Anybody have another idea? No way, you can't answer. You guys saw this, they all saw this last week, okay? All right, let's go ahead and show them what it is. The Humanitarian White Cane Fund. Now, like I told you, you just learned something already if you didn't know this. And you're going to learn a lot more in a few minutes, okay? How many programs are funded by Brighter Vision throughout North Carolina's 100 counties? And I want you to think about this, and anybody that saw it last week can't answer. They got to keep their hands down. How many programs are funded by the money we collect for Brighter Visions? Anybody? Pardon? 20. Okay, anybody have another number? 8? Okay, we've got 8 and 20. Anybody else? 12. 12. Okay, you can't do it either because you know these things. All right, go ahead. Let's show them the answer. 12. Believe it or not, all that money we collect, which is, it's very misleading, it does not all go to Camp Dogwood. And you need to know this because, remember, Lorraine said there were 8 clubs that didn't participate in a couple of the fundraisers. We got clubs all over the state that didn't participate in Brighter Visions. And it's because they use the excuse, we want to keep the money within our own area and neighborhood. You guys aren't the ones that I got to worry about this year. You're here and you believe in it or you wouldn't have been here today. It's the other clubs that are sitting out there that don't get all of this. Let's see what else it says. All right, question 5. Mobility canes, the oldest program in Brighter Visions. How many free canes are dispersed each year through Brighter Visions? And as a Lion, you should know this because we give out a lot of canes. A whole bunch. A whole bunch. Okay, that's one answer. As many as we can? No. What number did you say? 1,200. Let's see what the answer is. Over 600 each year at a cost of $12,000 annually. We're spending $12,000 a year to give out 600 canes. Now, currently, we'll disperse 1 free cane to people every 2 years. Others at cost. Many years past, we distributed when requested and later limited to every 2 years because we were spending $24,000 a year. You know, you need to know this. This is the kind of stuff you can tell other Lions and think about what would happen if all of a sudden some of their club members or people they know are getting canes from the Brighter Visions Fund. Okay. Now, this is a really important part of it to me, and I know it is to Gene. Kids site and mobile screening units. How many screenings did we do from July 1st of 2023 until June 30th of 2024? Any guesses? For the whole state? Well, yeah, it's in the magazine, or in the program. You know, I can read that too, so. But how many did we do statewide? 250. 250? Okay, let's see what we did. 48,000. And you guys did how many of them? How many? 40 of them? No? What's it say in the program? 5,000.
You're talking about numbers screened instead of actual screen visits.
Yeah, these are the actual numbers of people we see kids. Well, according to this, it said 5, but I thought you'd have more too. Anyways, I'm excited about it because my district was really big on the screenings. My wife and I personally were involved with almost 4,000 screenings. Yes?
How many follow-ups?
How many what?
Follow-ups.
Okay, that I don't know the answer to. That
Why not?
Because John Snelling's the chair for that. He got clean too.
That's about 20%.
About 20%? Okay. Next situation. Average individuals per screening when we use the MSU trailer, 43. The kids sites were 109, but let me tell you about what happened in our district. And I'm not bragging about our district, but it's something I couldn't believe. Up in Boone, we have a lady that's a Lion by the name of Betsy Anderson. Do any of you know her? Okay? Betsy Anderson walked into the Watauga School Board and asked to screen all the kids in the Watauga school system, and they agreed. 3,600 kids. I was up there for a week along with my wife and several other screeners. But you need to be aware of something else. We got all of the kids screened in there, the parents allowed to, in their school system. This coming year, Avery County heard what we did, so they want us to screen all their kids. We're going back to Watauga. But let me tell you a little story that happened in Boone. A 7-year-old girl got screened and she had a problem. Then she was referred to the nurse who referred the parents and said you need to get her to an eye doctor. The eye doctor found a very, very tiny, minuscule pinhole in the back of her eye. They took her to Duke. Duke fixed the problem, and the doctors at Duke told the parents if they had not caught that now, she'd have probably been totally blind by the time she was 10 years old. So if you don't believe the screenings work, this is a great story to tell. And I want to point out, all part of Brighter Visions. Let's see. All right. Oh, we did 150 communities this past year. All right. The average cost, everybody says, the club has to pay $150, $250 if they use a mobile screening. It still costs us $1,500 to do it. Every district's got a vision van now. This year, I'm going to be the driver in our district. Anyways, the MSU trailer is on the road 46 hours per week. Brian's going all over the state. This is something that we're doing. It's probably the best program we've got right now. And when it first started, it wasn't my idea. Marilyn Wunderler and a couple other people started it. And it has caught on, and we've got all sorts of things that have happened from it. Go ahead, Tammy. Brighter Vision spends $180,000 a year on kids' site mobile screening units. Okay, next. Now, matching funds, question 7. We have a matching funds program through Brighter Visions. We spend money 3 ways. Can any of you name one of the ways? Anybody? Eye exams? Eye surgery. Let's see what the answer is. It covers the cost of classes and exams, but that has now been replaced by BSP. They are doing a great job for us. We do cover surgeries, 2,500 surgery grants and 500 for special requests. Next slide. Fund requests came from over 70 North Carolina counties this year. And the NCLF provides an average of 700 BSP vouchers that cover the same number of eye exams and glasses each year. And an average of 12 eye surgeries per year. Do all of you know how the BSP thing works? How many don't know? Show of hands. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. BSP is an insurance company. They've agreed to pay for anybody that can't afford it. They agreed to pay for an eye exam and glasses, a free pair of glasses. But each club has to go ahead and get eye doctors in their own community. We've got 3 in Mint Hill that are now part of our program. All right, next. How much does NCLF spend on the matching funds program each year? Special requests and surgeries average over $15,000. BSP vouchers at a value of $200 each is basically, that would be $140,000 a year if it wasn't for BSP. Okay? BSP eye exams and glasses, $140,000 a year, does not include the labor costs of the administrative handling of BSP vouchers, which is about, there's one person that does about 2 hours a day dealing with that. And then the special requests and surgery grants, about $15,000 a year. Okay. Question 9. The eyeglass program. How many of you sorted glasses at Camp Dogwood? Okay, about half. Let me ask you another question. How many of you have never been to Camp Dogwood? That is sad. You all have to go. Make a day trip. I'm sure Tammy will welcome you when we get there. It's the biggest thing we've got in the state. You got to be a part of that, at least to just go see what they got. I promise you, once you go, you'll think a lot differently about what we're doing. All right, how many eyeglasses are donated through NCLF every year? Any guesses? A bunch. You've got all the answers. Okay. How many ballparks? How many? 200,000. 200,000 pairs of glasses. And I don't know how many of you have sorted glasses, but let's face it, it's not exactly a world-beating, exciting afternoon other than talking to other Lions, right? And they all look the same by the time you're done doing it. All right. NCLF ships an average of 20 pallets of eyeglasses to recycle centers annually, which is nearly 900 pounds per pallet. Okay? There are 8 other programs. This is another question. There's 8 other programs that are part of the Brighter Visions program. Can you name any 3? Now, I want a show of hands to do this. Anybody, can any of you name any of the other 8? Nobody?
Clinical eye research?
Go ahead, yeah. That's one.
The guide dog program?
Guide dog program? No.
No.
Education of grants.
Open up your programs. There's 8 of them in there. Read the thing, okay? All right, let's see what we got. The deaf-blind retreat at Camp Dogwood. How many even know that we have a deaf-blind retreat at Camp Dogwood? Only a few of you. This is part of Brighter Visions. Educational grants, that's a biggie. Who do we give those to? What children? Of visually impaired children. The children of visually impaired. Thank you. All right, low vision aids. Have any of you ever seen any of those? Yeah. Those things are phenomenal. We got one, Tammy got us one for a lady in Mid-Hill, and, or I think it's a woman. The Lion went over and dropped it off. He came back and he said to me, he's our club president, he says, this is awesome. Anybody can read with this. Clinical eye research. Now, let me explain. We have not donated any money in the last year to clinical research, but we will be at the end of this year because we're building up enough fund to make it, by the end of this year, we'll have enough to make it worthwhile to do that. Okay? Tammy? Organ and tissue procurement. There we go. Hearing aids, we're still recycling those, and that supports the deaf and blind camp. Recycling, reduce, refuse, and recycle. And of course, the most important one, Camp Dogwood. Here's a big question. Let's go to the next question. What percentage of all the money we raise through Brighter Visions goes to Camp Dogwood every year?
49%.
I told you, you can't answer, you're the chair. All the money we raised over $520,000 this past year, only 49% of it went to Camp Dogwood, so these people that tell you it all goes to Camp Dogwood are full of crap. Okay? This year we ended up donating about $318,000. It's not enough. It costs us a lot more to run Camp Dogwood. All right, next slide. Oh, you can stop at this point. Let me explain this real quick. When I was district chair, I gave every club in my district a little purple bucket. And I got a friend of mine that's a printer to make little logos that had a lion logo and it said Brighter Visions. And I asked every club president to pass it around at every meeting. This was important. We got just passed around to get small change. We ended up getting $8,000 to $9,000 more just in small change over the course of that year. Okay? And I've encouraged this year's district chairs to consider that. Anyways, I think it's a worthwhile program to donate to. And I want to talk about this. You have a lot of people that have been telling you it's so much per person, so much this, so much that. I don't believe in talking to you that way. What I want you to understand is I went to my district and I asked them for a 10% increase. I'm asking all of you in every club, regardless of your club, for a 10% increase. For example, if your club donated $5,000, that's only another $500. If we did this all year, all across the state, we would raise over $600,000, which has not been hit for quite a while. Anyways, thank you for letting me be here. Are there any questions before I give the microphone back? Yes.
Can anyone speak to the hearing program and what's going on with that? I haven't had a good answer other than we're out of it because the state took it over.
Okay. Here, Tammy's going to talk to you about that.
Okay, give me your question again.
Hearing, where are we at with hearing? I've asked a bunch of people. The answer I've got is pretty much we're out of it because the state took it over.
Okay, so with the hearing, basically what we do there at the camp, we collect the hearing aids to help fund the deaf and blind camp. However, with that note, each summer we bring in a lady who is with the Department of Deaf and Hard of Hearing to speak with the campers. What we have found out, and I'm losing this, what we have found out is that a lot of the campers, they're not attending these workshops. I can tell you that the Department of Deaf and Hard of Hearing has started a new program. Used to, you had to have your hearing loss way up here, be really, really bad at hearing loss, and your income had to be extremely low to even qualify. So now they have started a new loaners program. So it doesn't matter how bad your hearing is or what your income actually is. You can apply for a program directly through them. I know what we're doing with the hearing aids that we see come across. Anything that is within 5 years old, we are sending to them to be a part of that loaner program. Anything that's older than 5, the technology isn't there. So these new hearing aids that they're asking for have to have the Bluetooth capability and all that. So they don't want any older ones, just the newer ones. But that's where we're at as far as the hearing that I know about.
The name of that program, that's it.
You have to go through the Department of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And then they just call it a loaner program. And it depends on your amount of hearing loss versus your income as to which side of the building they will refer you to, which program they will refer you to there.
How do you handle cell phone, recycling cell phone?
Same as always, they are being sent off, no chargers, no cases. They're being sent off for recycling also.
Let me add a little bit about the hearing. I don't know quite how it goes now, but
many years ago, there was $1 per line charge on every local telephone. And all that went to the hearing for hearing aids. They either gave a strobe light or something like that. Only one item, but there was money that came out of your telephone. Now, how it does now from your local, unless something comes out of the cell phones, I don't know. But we did have that many years ago. So and we had a lot of people could get it from the services, social services versus from the foundation. So that's the reason we quit doing hearing aids at the foundation, because you had other avenues, and like Tammy said, it's working very well.
Still said, can we talk
about the
hearing
MSU
on
trailer
the MSU trailer and everything?
Oh yes, there is. We have a hearing booth on the MSU trailer. We also have a hearing unit on each one of the kid site vehicles. And we also do those.
That's what I was doing yesterday.
Oh, you are? Okay, very good.
Okay, any other questions? Are there any other questions? Because I'll stay and talk about this all day. You probably have figured out already. Anyways, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for letting me come. And I want to turn it over now to the president of NCLF, Wayne Faber.
Good morning, everyone. Stand up and take a stretch where you're at real quick. Stand up and stretch. Go ahead. Move up, swing out, slap your knee, whatever. All right, is everybody stretched now? Got it. Loosen up a little bit, weighten it up a little bit. Okay. Now you can sit back down. I want to thank everybody for attending this morning. It shows your commitment just by being here on this beautiful Saturday morning. For those of you that do not know me, I am past District Governor Wayne Faber. I served in 96-97, followed my father who served in 91-92. It is an honor and privilege. I've been a Lion in the Apex Lions Club for about 38 years, as well as a couple years in the Cary Lions Club, and an honorary member in the Junior Lions Club in West Virginia, who I go up and meet some of their meetings and help with some of their functions more than some of their actual members do, so that's kind of ironic there. But I'm also the secretary for the past several years for the VIP Fishing Tournament, which is a very proud position to have. I truly serve in the great group of folks that we work with, including our executive director here, Carlton, who's the vice president of that organization. So I know we asked how many have been to camp. How many have been to the VIP Fishing Tournament? Real quick, raise your hand. Well, that's good. We can increase that by half more. We'll have the whole room covered. That's great. But it is a pleasure to be serving as your president this year. You know, it's your facility at camp. It's not mine. I mean, it is part mine. But it's what we do. You know, for so many of our visually impaired persons, you know, they only get to do a couple of these activities. Unlike us, you know, we got in our cars this morning and we were able to go to Dunkin' Donuts and come here or to a meeting, we leave here and go to the store, or go, you know, to our cousin's house, or aunt's house, wherever. But for so many of these, there's only two places they get to go during the year. One being the Camp Dogwood, of course, and the second being the VIP Fishing Tournament. And we do not want to let these folks down. I mean, this means so much to them. If you've ever been to any of these activities, they will tell you that. They will hug you to death. They will kiss you to death. They will thank you for what you do for them. And, you know, you hear a lot today talk about finances and we need more money this. And, you know, you get the gas tank filled up and you get your grocery stores, you know how everything's, what's it doing? Going up, correct? So therefore we need the same thing, you know, to help meet our goals in the state for what we do. You know, our state things we do is, of course, is the services and programs for our VIPs and vision loss prevention, aid for NC citizens. Quick question, anybody in here know when North Carolina's Foundation was originally established? Anybody have any idea? Another pop question. By the way, there's going to be a test on all the things you heard today at the end of this meeting. So. 1934. That's when we first got going. And you know, you heard ways of giving here today. There's additional ways you can give to the foundation as well, through gifts of stock, real estate, life insurance policies, wills and trusts. And you know, you heard a lot about memorials and honorariums, which is a very wonderful program as well too. Who's your memorial and honorarium chairperson in your district here? Anybody know?
It would be Carl and David.
Oh, it's okay. So you got two doings going on, huh? Yeah. He was mentioning to me, and Carl here was mentioning to me this was his second year of doing it. And I said, is this because you didn't get it right last year? He said, probably. So they give you a second time to do it right this year. But you know, memorials and honorariums is just not that to be given at the end of the year to the Lions that have done great work for the club or the district or state. It can be given for anything. It could be going to a birthday party, you have somebody that's graduating college or school, you have somebody getting married, you know, it just wedding anniversary, anything can be used for memorials and honorariums. On the honorariums, we refer more to memorials, but you know, anything you can do for that. Just not have to be a Lions type program or person to make that kind of a donation. Does anybody know what the NCLF mission is by chance? A mission to care, to enrich, and to serve our NC citizens. All right, here's one you might not have heard of. Camp Dog was established in what year? Any idea? 1967. You know when the first building was built at the camp, actually? 1968. And there were 3 Lions that were very instrumental in doing so. William Joyce, Bill Eason, and C. Coleman Cates Jr. We used to have a C. Coleman Cates Award back in the day. I wish we could bring that back, actually. And I think that went towards Camp Dogwood for the most ticket sales or something like that. Am I correct in that? The William Joyce Award? Yeah. Speaking of the Joyce, the main lodge there is, has the name Bill and Margaret Joyce, who built in there. And Margaret Joyce, let me tell you, she passed away last year. Great, wonderful woman. A couple of years I was involved with hosting the state, as we said, volunteer days. I remember one morning getting up, and I mean, it was cool that morning. Breakfast hadn't even been served yet. They were due out there on the ground, and I looked out my window, and Miss Joyce was out there on her hands and knees working in the garden out there trying to get the camp beautiful. That was her thing. Whatever Miss Joyce wanted for the gardens to get done, she got done, let me tell you. It wasn't can we or could we, it's we will. So, but, so many great things that the Lions have done over the years for us, and we really do appreciate it. I continue to do what I can. You may not have known. Worked 25 years doing 911 in Apex. I retired 3 years ago on July of 2021. On August 17th, I got up that morning. Felt a little funny, couldn't figure out what was going on, but when I came out to go to the kitchen area, which is 3 steps, I couldn't lift my legs. Okay, needless to say, panic set in. 911 called, long story short, 5 hours in the hospital, waste of time. But anyway, for 3 years, got diagnosed saying spinal stenosis this, spinal stenosis that, treatment this, treatment that. Nothing was really working, nothing was really helping. Come to find out, of course, you ask for a second opinion, go somewhere, come to find out I actually got scoliosis, which is a trait that runs in my family. Why these guys couldn't find it sooner, I have no idea. But probably sometime or another we'll be having to face some kind of treatment or surgery for that. But anybody that knows me over these past 3 years, it might have taken me longer to do it, of course, with this thing here or my cane or whatever I've been using. But guess what? I got it done. I got it done. So please continue to do whatever you can for the VIPs. It means so much to them, and I want to thank you again. If there's anything I can do, I'll be happy to come speak to your club, install members, just come visit, just call me anything you need, anything you're not happy about, please let me know. I'll be happy to entertain that. And just remember that too, because so many times, we've lost some Lions over the years. I know even my own club, somebody got mad about this, somebody got upset about that. If I had left every time I got upset or mad about something, I'd have been out of Lions a long time ago, folks. But what you need to do when that happens to you is just remember this. Who are you really doing it for? Are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for the VIPs? And the answer should be for the VIPs. So, again, thank you for letting me serve as your president this year, and I will do a great job. Please come see us. The meetings are quarterly down at most of them will be at camp this year. The next one's next weekend, as a matter of fact, and then in November, February, and in May, I believe, the correct ones. Anybody's entitled to, encouraged to come to meetings. You're more than welcome. You don't have to be on the board or anything to come down there, so feel free to do so. We'd love to have you. So, does anybody have any questions to me at this time? If not, once again, thank you. And the next on my list is my favorite portion. We all get to come and give us some money. So, Lion Carl, I believe I'm turning it over to you. I'm correct.
Thank you.
Sir. Bring us some money.
Thank you. A few closing remarks. We need every club in the district to participate and put forth your best effort in helping to meet the Brighter Vision goal. You have continually demonstrated that in the past. So why not now? You know the environment in your community and what works best in collecting funds for this worthwhile cause. Yes, prices for almost everything have increased, gas, food, you name it. Everyday living has become a challenge. But through it all, we will make it. We will persevere. Remember what Brighter Vision does for our citizens. I know we can make it happen in spite of the obstacles. Lion David Kennedy and I stand ready to come to visit your club, assist you with this very important program. Also, we will be contacting your zone chairs, presidents, secretaries periodically for an update on Brighter Vision. Remember, this is a team effort. We serve. Thanks for your attention. And with that, I'm gonna kick it off. I got a little seed money here. I have a check for the Asheboro Lions Club for $1,500. Wingate Lions Club, $315. I know. Come on down. I'm Monty Hall. Come on down. Come on down. You want to call off?
$2,052. Give me the name.
Okay.
Pleasant Garden. 2,052.
Waynesboro Lions Club, $1,000. Siler City Lions Club, $850. Julian Lions Club, $1,000. Scotland County Lions Club, $100. Hamilton Lakes Lions Club, $4,000. Durham Lions Club, $3,000. Greensboro Lions Club, $3,500. Boxtown Lions Club, $2,000.
Who was that?
Waxhaw.
Thank you.
McLeansville Lions Club, $1,000. I want your money. Do we have any more? No, I'll turn it over to our governor.
I got 20,317.
20 what?
317.
20,317 is what I got.
Awesome.
That is awesome, y'all. 20,317.
Say it louder.
20,317. That's a great kickoff.
You're in the lead.
Right, we're in the lead. Because there's only been one more.
We beat them by 8 though.
Yeah, beat about that 8,000.
I think those bags are for clubs. If you haven't gotten your club bags, please pick them up.
If the region zone chairs here, they'll pick them up.
And if there's zone chairs here, please pick them up for their zone. We're having pizza today, and it's by donation, if you feel like it. And they've gone to pick it up, so it should be here in a minute. First, Vice District Governor Juanita, do you want to bless the food?
While she's coming up, this is a new brochure, so you need to refer to it. It goes over a lot of things Lion Bill was talking about.
And I just want to say that all of you guys being here shows that you are interested in your district and in learning more about how you can help your clubs. And for me personally, I really appreciate that. So let us bow our heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for this gathering today. We ask that you be with us, Lord. We thank you for the food that we are about to receive. We ask that you bless it to the nourishment of our bodies so that we may be a vessel that you can use. This we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Y'all want to stretch your legs or go to the bathroom or get a drink? It should be here any minute. Or do both.
That's right.